Okay, guys, welcome back. I'm Kevin, and I'm bringing you a Starcraft 4v4. This is Heart of the Swarm in Starcraft 2. At the top left side of the map, you have me, Kevin, the orange Zerg player. My teammates are green Protoss, yellow Protoss, and pink Protoss. At the bottom left side of the map, we have the red Terran player, blue Terran player, purple Zerg, and teal Terran. So it's 3 Protosses and me a Zerg versus 3 Terrans and a Zerg. I'm just going to jump to my view and take a look at what I'm doing. So for your reference, I'm a gold level player, and I've been trying to make platinum in all the game types and just been recording my efforts. I think actually this is the match where I finally did make platinum, at least in 4v4, which really isn't my favorite game types because you're just a lot of chaos going on, and if you don't know your teammates, which I never do because I go random teammates, it just gets a little crazy and people get mad, and sometimes, so often one of your teammates will just leave the game. Maybe dinner was ready, or they saw a couple marauders coming, so they just quit, and it's very frustrating. Okay, so you'll notice first thing I did is I sent a drone out to do some scouting at the 15 supply mark. And I sent another drone out, and I'm just going straight here. I'm going to do my expo. A little bit risky there. I'm going to drop a hatch before I drop a pool. If you're a Zerg player, then you know that that's a little more risky than if I had put a pool down first and then went hatch. But seeing as how this is such a large map, I figured I could get away with that. So sent this Overlord out to sort of patrol between these two locations to check for expansions. Sent this drone out to do some scouting, but he actually can't make it up into this base because the ramp has been walled off. So if I was smart, I would have seen that and just made him stand right here so I could at least see what that wall looked like. But yeah, I wasn't paying attention. So basically, I'm just droning up at this point, trying to get more and more minerals. And I decided, okay, if he's walling, I'm going to be a little more risky, and so I go and actually drop a second expansion before putting my pool down, which is typically kind of dumb to do because you're left unprotected against some early harass. But, I live life on the edge, so YOLO, and I put down my second expansion. Meanwhile, this Overlord is coming out here. He's noticing a gas going up, and this blue line just means he's going to be patrolling, going back and forth right here, just checking out these bases. My drone was pretty much useless because I didn't even spot what that wall was. And I got one Marine out here just sort of harassing me. I think what happened was Blue sent a Marine out here to this Selnaga tower, and then as soon as he saw this expansion, he went and attacked me. So actually, I get a little bit of shit from my teammates for doing this. I probably should have put this hatchery over here on the gold expansion, which would have been a little more hidden. But hey, it is what it is. Sent a couple drones to try and defend against this. Pulled the guy back that was getting hit. So this Marine has to move out. Now blue and red, they both know what I'm doing. They both see that expansion up. They know that there's got to be one here. And so I know, and they know that they're going to be sending units right now to try and take this out. If they do manage to take this out, then they're going to be ahead in the game, effectively getting rid of or countering against, I guess, 300 minerals that it cost me to put this up. But I anticipated this. I popped some lings, and in a minute you'll see pink actually come to my rescue. Meanwhile, over here on this side of the map, pink's getting harassed right now by teal, who sent in a bunch of reapers. Stalker is exactly what you want to fight these Reapers, so he did a great job there just by having that ready. And yeah, so Pink has not expanded yet. He's the only teammate of ours, actually, who hasn't expanded yet. Yellow's popped an expansion and has no units out. Green's popped an expansion. He's got a couple cannons to protect himself, but no units, really. And then me, I have 2 expansions and just a bunch of lings, and it looks like right now I'm being supply blocked, probably because they took out this Overlord, yeah. So this Queen, I'm guessing, took out my Overlord that was patrolling right here. On the other side of the map, we got blue, who's got a command center out and going for orbital command. So he's only got one base saturated right now, but looks like he's dropping a bunch of barracks so that he could push out against this, which is probably about a minute too late, but it is what it is. Red was probably the only guy who prepared an early rush, but he couldn't go alone. He's only got 3 Marauders. Really, he should have been hitting this, because if they could take this out, this is really the only chance they stand right now. I'm going to go ahead and hit play. Right now, I've got pretty good eyes on the map. We saw this expansion go up. Back here, those Reapers came over to harass me, which isn't that big of a deal. Actually, these Lings basically cannot outmaneuver the Reapers until you get speed upgrade, which I'm about, 75% done with speed upgrade right now. So I gotta keep these Lings safe until I get that upgrade. I do have a spine crawler out because I know this is going to be the place to hit. And here we go. So right now, I only have a small handful of Lings. They don't have their upgrade yet, and that's against 3 Marauders, a couple Reapers, and if Blue's smart, then he's going to have some units on the way too. Now, meanwhile, Pink has not expanded. He does have some gateways up with, warp gates up. He's got a robo facility on the way, another gateway coming, so that's a 5 gate. It's a little weird, a little atypical. But here's the key. He has this pylon all the way across the map. Either this was a brilliant move because he wanted to come and harass this base right here, or even more brilliant is if he saw what was happening here with my base and he wanted to make sure that he could send units across the map, if I needed it, which I do need it right now. So let's see how this goes over. It's so important right now for our enemies to take out this base. Otherwise, our team's just going to get the economy up. I finally got that upgrade, which is good, but still not enough to take all this out. Meanwhile, Pink is starting to get some units together. So just in the nick of time, okay, I got some more units popping. Going to harass this a little bit more. And then here you go. Right in the nick of time, Pink comes to the rescue, takes all this out. This is really the turning point of the game because, let me go to everybody's view. Red just has a couple Marines. If Pink hadn't done this, or if all his units were back here at home, or if he had expanded and couldn't afford to make these units, I very well could have lost this base because Red and Blue, they haven't, especially Red, he hasn't expanded yet. And so, he very well should have had more units than this ready. He's actually sitting on a bunch of minerals. Those units really needed to get over here and take this out. A better player would have taken this out. And even though this guy's platinum, I think he was platinum, they just kind of failed at that imperative part of the game. So at this point, I've got 2 bases saturated. The 3rd base is going to be saturated soon. They're just going to start falling further and further behind in economy. Let's take a look at my other players. Green has got his base up. He's getting saturated, and he's building more starports. 1, 2, 3, 4 starports all going up at the same time. That's a little noobish. I mean, the fact that he could afford to do that just meant he was sitting on a lot of minerals and gas. Yellow's got an expansion up, not really saturated, and he's got 2 starports coming. Yellow's been a little disappointing so far. He doesn't even have a warp gate. And we're 7 minutes, 40 seconds in the game. Pink, it's really come down to Pink and me so far. And the fact that we were able to defend this just basically changed the whole game. This is me. Hello, come help me, basically, and I didn't realize that the Pink had just saved me. So I probably should have apologized for complaining there, but... So, yep, Pink's still warping in more units. I think now would have been a really great time for Pink to expand, but he didn't. Instead, he puts a couple of cannons behind his base to protect against possibly air harass or something. But that's fine. I mean, we're getting ahead economically. I'm starting to get these bases saturated. I haven't dropped a Roach Warren yet, but I really should do that right about now. Obviously, I have Lings with the speed upgrade. And so here pink is saying, all right, let's go. Let's get a move on and stop red from expanding. Okay. I'm a little slow here. Again, sorry, I'm a gold player. Here we go. All right, my Lings are moving in. We know that right now, they've either expanded or they're about to expand, and if they haven't, then really they're probably not very good. So we go ahead and push out all of our units together. Go, go. Here we go. So this is the other big important thing. Oh, okay. Blue has one siege tank out, which is helpful, but it went down. He hasn't even saturated this base yet because he just landed it, so he's behind. And at this point, now that we took the Red's expansion out, Red is just so behind right now. He's really the only guy who hasn't expanded. If I look across the map, Red's got one base, Blue has two, and he's about to lose one of them. Purple has a macro hatch right here and an expansion, and Teal has an expansion right here. Then on my team, Pink has not expanded, so not doing a whole lot better, but at least he has units. A pretty strong army right here for 10 minutes in the game. Yellow does have an expansion and is starting to make some phoenixes, which he hasn't used yet, so he's doing well economically, not so well in the army department. Meanwhile, green does have an expansion up, is starting to sort of spam these void rays, and I think he rushes them out because it seems like he gets a lot together very quickly. Meanwhile, me and pink are just taking out red, killing blue's expansion. Pull this back a little bit when I saw teal coming. Yeah, so we took out that expansion. It's time to back up a little bit and just rest knowing that we have more income. Pink's still sending in more units. Nice. Yeah, I mean, pink really should have been kind of getting out of here at this point. Yeah, see, purple finally sent some reinforcements, and they're going to clean up pink. And that's kind of unfortunate because pink still hasn't expanded. So, if purple had read this correctly, I think he would have seen all those units from pink and known that he hadn't expanded yet. In 11 minutes and not having expanded, I mean, that makes you vulnerable. Pink or teal at least maybe should have poked into this base. They didn't though, which we lucked out on. I think they were probably dealing with some of this harassment from yellow back at their base. That's pretty good. I don't know how many overlords they took out here, but yeah, this one Phoenix has 3 kills, 5 from that one, 5 from that one. Yeah, so obviously yellow was able to do some great harassment there. Blue finally getting trying desperately to get another expansion up. And red, oh, I missed it, but actually if I back up a little bit, there's so much happening in a 4v4. Yeah, let's fast forward. We missed what happened here. So green was starting to mass those void rays. He's rallying them right here. And then while all this was going down, while pink was getting slaughtered, green's over here just about to annihilate red's space. So that's down. He's going to take out the command center. And remember, red hasn't expanded, or he did expand, but it got taken out. So this is really like game-changing right here. If he can take this out, it's going to be 3 versus 4 people. So he's got that. Meanwhile, he's bringing even more void rays on the way. Taking these out, taking out that starport. Yeah, it's pretty much game over for red at this point. Back here we have a little bit of harass happening from purple, but we're 12, 13 minutes in the game. Lings just aren't that effective anymore. My army's just sitting here waiting for that. Whew, I think I drank too much coffee. Feeling weird right now. I'm probably talking really fast too. I'm going to speed through this a little bit. I mean, at this point, red is just out of the game. He's got all these sitting here, just SCVs doing nothing. Green's putting together a pretty sizable Void Ray army. Purple has got his expansion up, but, you know, what's he going to do against 4 people? Teal's also got his expansion up. Teal's really the sort of lazy guy. He's got all these units sitting here, and he really should have, you know, been poking, but he wasn't. So he's probably afraid of, you know, saw what was happening over here and was afraid of units coming. It's just unfortunate for them. Meanwhile, we're just massing up. It looks like I'm making a bunch of banelings. I've got a hydralisk den here. I'm just massing units right now. We're obviously going to win. So let me just fast forward a little bit. All right, back over here, all these Void Rays. Just doing this. We're all moving across the map with him. Taking out all those SCVs, which really are no threat. Saw this blue army, I think I decided to just go for it. I don't know how smart that was, and all my banelings got trapped there. That wasn't so smart. Yeah, nevertheless, we were able to make a sizable dent here. And even though it's not like we could win the game from that little move, it's just the fact that teal couldn't go counter and take out yellow or something, it's pretty useful just to keep the harassment up. Purple, I don't know what he was thinking really. He's going for all these infestors, but infestors are horrible at defense. He's trying to throw a fungal growth on these Void Rays, but it's just not working out. Teal, meanwhile, has his whole army right here. Nothing defending. Oh, I guess he does have a little bit defending. I think at this point in the game, Teal's getting kind of mad. He saw that red is gone, so it's pretty obvious now. It's 3 versus 4 people. Yellow's still harassing over here. Game is pretty much going to be decided in the next minute, if not already. Meanwhile, green is harassing the hell out of purple. It's pinging. Oh, I'm pinging over there. Someone is. Why didn't he take out this hive? It's just. He should have used this. What is that called? Prismatic alignment, and taken this thing out before all these infestors showed up. And then right here, he just leaves it while he gets surrounded. He should have pulled these guys out. But nevertheless, I guess green's probably a little bit noob, since really all he built the whole game is Void Rays. It's usually an indication. I can't say anything though, because I have this whole army sitting here doing absolutely nothing. I think I pretty much knew, look at all this creep. I mean, we can see the whole map. Pretty much know that we're going to win at this point, so got a little bit lazy. Yellow finally had a few Void Rays out, just trying to get some harassment going. Should have probably pulled those, yeah. Got all these for defense. Pink coming in, going to try to save them against these lings. Meanwhile, I'm a pretty bad teammate. I got all my units sitting over here. You know, I think I pretty much knew the game was over at this point, so I'm just macroing, making units, taking my time, maybe talking on the phone. I'm just going to speed this up a little bit. Yeah, they're still pushing, and over here I'm just sending all my units in, checking for expansions, dealing with stupid widow mines, and taking out blue. Yeah, so now blue has no bases, red has no bases. It's 2 against 4. And even though teal pushed way up here and looked like he made a big dent, I mean, I knew that this would stop it. Pink, or purple, I mean, I don't know what he's doing, setting all of his drones up. Whatever you say, hell shit. Maybe he's not built his base and is being revealed. Say the totally owned guy. Yeah, so a little bit of shit talking. It's always fun. I'm just over here just lazing out, trying to take out blue. I pretty much own this whole left side of the map. It's gotta be frustrating. and then they finally leave the game. So, game's pretty much over. Just go back to everyone's view. Pink or purple, man, still trying to expand, still trying to do some damage here. It's not gonna work. Somewhere I think he had a lot of infestors. Yeah, here. Look at this group of infestors. Like, why do people make so many infestors to defend? It's the only use that these guys have is in small numbers to drop a fungal growth in like a group, you know, or if you're gonna burrow them and maybe march under your enemy's base to bring in a bunch of infested Terrans. But like this, I mean, he's popping all these infested Terrans, wasting all that energy, and all we have to do is back up a little bit. These guys move so slow, and meanwhile they've wasted all of their energy on these infested Terrans for no reason. Just to what? Defend this area for 30 seconds or less? It's not very useful. So we're just massing units at this point. The game is over. Blue and red are both gone. Purple has a bunch of infested Terrans, but, you know, against, what, 4 players? So this game drags on a little bit longer than it should have. Takes out Teal's expansion. I think Teal's just dead in the water now. He only has 1 extractor up. No mines or no minerals mining besides these little guys. Got some long distance mining going on for purple as well. Green's got a huge army here just doing nothing. And yellow's really the only guy making damage right now. Besides pink, a few zealots. All these investors just useless. I think that was a really bad call for purple. Anything would have been better than that. But yeah, I finally move in with my huge ass army. I do have a few infestors, but I don't mass all infestors. I just use them to sort of, like I said, throw down a fungal growth, trap the enemy, and then, you know, your army basically cleans it up. So we finally all move in. I'm moving in. Yellow moves in. Oh, look at that. He's got a mothership now. This game is totally over. Even got a... lost the Viper. Oh, look at that. I guess at the last minute he decided to go Swarm Host. So yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. This was a 4v4 where I finally made Platinum, and see you guys next time.